joined by Freak and DoubleLift to talk a little bit about Game 2. What a game, a base race to close everything off. And I kind of want to talk about how the two teams and the two team comps worked in the favor of both squads as we went further in the game, because when it comes to team fights, the Walking Zed going off that comp should be able to win.
Yeah, so what I kind of liked about Walking Zed's comp is it was very sort of single focused, which I like to see teams that have a clear goal in mind, and it's we have two really, really good fighting bruisers, Renekton and Olaf, and the rest of our team's going to get them in there, and then when they do get there, Oriol's going to make them stay there, and we'll kill everybody, and it'll be great. The one thing I kind of didn't like is that there's pretty severe diminishing returns on movement speed, but once you get past 490, your move speed gains are cut in half. So when you're stacking that much haste, you're not getting that much more off that last incremental bit of speed. I would have rather seen a little bit of crowd control come out from one of the other champions, like maybe a Leona instead of Karma, for example, because one problem they had was actually keeping targets down.
Yeah, and like the biggest thing to me was just the AD choices. Sivir, obviously top tier, probably one of the most broken AD carries right now, just because of her utility. You saw her ulti have such a big impact. And even though Orianna would just constantly be getting hooked and dying before the teamfight even really started and be doing almost nothing, you'd see Walking Zed come out of a teamfight okay. Like, they didn't get aced, and everyone's so fast they can just kind of run away and only die a few times.
Yeah, and as you talk about those ADs, to me, the one comp screamed forward, forward, forward. And there was also tons of mobility on Team Coast. They had the Shyvana ult to jump in. They had Ahri jump in her wild, but one person who didn't have anything to jump her out was Varus, and that was kind of an odd choice.
Yeah, that's why I've recently, whatever, my AD tier list, I put him in bleep.
Trash?
Yeah, trash tier. He is really, really bad against the current meta of top lane bruisers. And as you saw, how did the game end? Renekton flash eat on top of him. Varus has no way to escape without coordinating a Thresh Lantern, and he got Ori ultied and he died. And when your 6-item AD carry dies at 50 minutes in the game, you auto lose. There's no way you can win the game anymore. So I don't know. I just don't like non-escape ADs with lower range like that. He has great utility. He has a good laning phase. He's got everything that an AD carry needs, except for late game.
Yeah, so actually speaking of that kind of situation, we do have a replay for you guys. We can get that on your screen. It was actually a team fight that Coast did win because it's actually WizFusion not getting caught by the Oriole, and it's really cool. So this is kind of what I wanted to talk about with the Walking Zed lineup. Let's play the replay and watch what happens. So TWZ runs forward, but all they can do is run. And really right here is where the counter engage. So pause and look at this, right? Bishu is out of position. The tank line ran to chase things down because there's no CC until the bodies get there. So the front line must overcommit, which leaves the back line open. Bishu gets ulted. He's going to take more crowd control to the face as well as this fight goes on. Let's roll the clip. And Double, if you want to walk us through what happens to Bishu here.
Yeah, so Bishu gets hooked right here, and because he went GA and Hourglass, he's going to live for a really long time. And the tanks on Walking Zed misplay really badly by chasing Ahri right here. This is the worst thing you can do. If you're a tank player, never do this. You're chasing a 20% HPR. She's doing nothing in the teamfight anyways. She'll maybe get off another rotation of spells, but the most important thing is that your backline is living and doing DPS. And as you see, Bobby, Hank Hill, and Bishu are about to come up, and they're going to die instantly. There's no protection for them because the tanks chose to chase.
Exactly. Nothing for Bobby Hank Hill to do except to walk up to Zion Spartan into that Sivir attack range. So let's roll the rest of the clip out and watch what happens. Bobby Hank Hill gets basically 3-shot there by WizFusion. The crowd control, the only CC that even existed, that Ori ult had gone onto other targets there, and you get a couple of cleanup kills there from Coast. That makes it a 2-for-1 right there. And that's what happens when the Varus doesn't need to blink to get away from a fight. He actually gets to put out damage. But you're right, when he got caught in the game-winning fight at the end there, there's not much for Coast to do.
Yep.
And in the end, it came down to little details, but we got to say great momentum for the Walking Zed. Now let's send it back over to Kobe and pastry time for the Game 3.